And am I saying that I'm great now? No, but I am not bad like that was.
We're trending upwards now.
Yes.
Aaron's number one biggest lesson.
It's one that I still send to people when they're like, well, what's it all about? I'm like, look, you got to watch this one. I would say anything that's worth doing is worth doing poorly.
Oh, I loved that episode. I really, really did.
And trust me, learning is not as fun as winning. I didn't think I'd be here. And if I just keep going, next thing you know, we'll be recording episode number 100.
Keep doing it. You'll learn along the way and get better.
The next thing you know, we've got like the President of the United States on the show. Never got that had I not started this.
I know. Yeah, they were crazy.
Oh, I don't have the right camera. I don't have the right microphone. I don't have the newest iPhone or a cool green pen to write with. Get started. I promise you're going to suck until you get going.
This is the Clark Connection Podcast, where 12 years of coaching championships meets real-world leadership. Coach Clark broke through at the highest levels. Now he's bringing you the playbook. Every week, real leaders, real wins. Real strategies you can use Monday morning. If you're done with theory and ready for results, this is your show. You in? Let's go!
And welcome back to the Clark Connection Podcast. And today is a big one. I'm your host, Aaron Clark, a.k.a. The Coach. And I also want to welcome back my wonderful co-host, Caitlin Michelet.
Thanks, Coach. Yeah, we've got something a little special planned for our 2-year anniversary episode. Yay!
Man, 2 years, 80 plus episodes. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it really is. And honestly, you should be proud. You should be very proud of this. Not a lot of people stay consistent and build something like this over time.
Yeah, it's been a journey for sure.
For real, this is a big moment.
Awesome. So let's get into it. The Clark Connection Podcast is powered by Coach Clark Leadership and Development. We help organizations develop leaders who multiply leaders through live training, executive coaching, and cultural strategy. And if you want to grow alongside other serious leaders, join our Leadership Multiplier School community. It is a space built for intentional leadership growth, connection, and accountability. Learn more at CoachAClark.com. This episode of the Clark Connection Podcast is proudly brought to you by Hubbard Flooring Studio. Leadership, growth, and success all start with a strong foundation, but the details matter too. Vicky and her team don't just specialize in high-quality flooring. They also offer Hunter Douglas blinds, bringing both function and design together in one place. Whether you're building, renovating, or upgrading a home or business, Hubbard Flooring Studio helps you create a space that reflects quality, intention, and excellence, from the floors you stand on to the light you let in. Now, if you're ready to work with people who care about craftsmanship and getting it right, visit hubbardflooringstudio.com or call 225-924-1582. Hubbard Flooring Studio, covering you from the ground up. Shout out to Steadfast Electric for supporting the show. When your power needs to be reliable, not just good enough, Brian and his team deliver safe, dependable electric work for homes and businesses. No shortcuts, no guesswork. Learn more at steadfastelectric.com or call 225-457-7957. Steadfast Electric, reliable power done right the first time. I want to recognize Bobby with the Comfy Quest LLC for sponsoring the podcast. Bobby specializes in craniosacral therapy, a highly specialized form of body work. This work helps the body release deep tension, regulate the nervous system, and truly reset. To learn more or book a session, visit massagebook.com/acomfyquest or call 225-773-0307. A Comfy Quest. Specialized craniosacral therapy for a real nervous system reset. A big thanks to Automate Integrate Professional Services for backing the show. Andrew helps businesses simplify, automate, and integrate their systems so leaders stop wasting time on manual work and start focusing on growth. Visit automate-integrate.com or email Andrew at automate-integrate.com. Automate Integrate. Systems that work so you don't have to overwork. I want to give a shout out to Dr. Bob Smith, chiropractic internist, for sponsoring today's episode. Dr. Bob focuses on identifying the root cause of pain and dysfunction, not just covering up symptoms. If your body isn't performing the way it should, this is the kind of care that looks deeper. Learn more at brspine.com or call 225-291-2626. Dr. Bob Smith, finding the root cause, not just chasing symptoms.
All right, Aaron. So before you get started, I know this is your 2-year anniversary episode, but you're not leading the show today, okay? I'm sorry to tell you.
I was about to say, is this the surprise you were talking about?
Yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes. And I know how much you love surprises. No, you do.
No, I don't.
You do. I know deep down you do. And, it's like I tell my husband about his birthday. Birthdays are not about you, okay? You might think they are, but no, it's really about everybody else around you, letting them celebrate you. So that's what we're going to do today, is celebrate you and the Clark Connection podcast. So sit back and enjoy.
I had like all these notes in here that I was ready to go through and do. Like,
nope, just relax. Sit back and enjoy. I got this.
Oh, man.
So actually, we've got a really fun episode planned. And I am going to have some questions for you. So don't worry, you'll get to participate. But what we're going to do today is what I like to call the Clark Connection Countdown to celebrate your 2-year anniversary with this podcast. So what we're going to do is a countdown from 5 all the way down to 1. And I've got some questions for you just to reflect on the last 2 years and the many podcasts that you've done. How many episodes are you on right now? Putting you on the spot.
Well, I think this is episode 84.
Okay, there we go.
84, 85, 83,
Yeah.
somewhere in that.
We're getting up there.
I've lost count.
I know that's about 80 more than, most podcasts ever get to. So we're doing good, doing real good.
True.
Yeah.
I was saying, like, you're not going to make me pick from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Just buckle in. Okay. I got this. I'm running the show today, but it's going to be a good one.
So if anybody's feelings get hurt, it is not me this time. It's Caitlin's fault.
Yeah.
Usually it's my fault.
That's okay. It could be my fault today. Well, we say that all the time. The leader is the one in charge. They get to take the L's. So, but this is not an L. This is a W. So, just let me know when you're ready for number 5.
I'm ready. So what's 5?
Okay. So number 5 is we're gonna go over and talk about your top 5 best performing episodes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've got them all listed here. Just want to talk about, how you felt about them, why you thought that they performed the best. And yeah, maybe what you think should be higher. We'll go through all of it, but the top performing episode is Coach Bob Becknell. All right, so
Oh,
he
no surprise
is
there.
Yeah, he's an awesome coach, and that was a great episode. He's so easy to listen to, just he's a great speaker. So that episode was called "You Don't Lose Games, You Lose Culture."
Yes.
Yep. So that's your top performing video right now, Bob Becknell, and then I'll go through the rest. So the next one is Case DuPont with Gecko Roofing, Leadership AI and Community Impact.
Yep, not a surprise there either.
Yeah, that was also a really good one, really cool one. Next one is Cam Acord from the NFL, special teams coach. Yeah. So I think we've got a little bit of a theme going on here with the coaches.
I'll say coach getting coaches. Yep.
Yeah. And the next two, okay, so number 4 is Molly Sarton, Starting Before You're Ready. That was just episode 80, so just a few episodes ago.
Yeah, I was about to say that one wasn't that long ago. Neither was Coach Becknell.
No, yeah, he was 76, so yeah, we've had some bangers lately. And then number 5 is our book review on The Traveler's Gift.
Ah, yes. That was a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. So talk to me about those guys. Why do you think that they are the top 5? I know you said a few times, like, not surprised, not surprised. Why not?
So, I mean, we'll start with number 5, the Traveler's Gift, which is a phenomenal book. It's one of my favorites. I had to go through. I mean, I've read it once, but then I've listened to it probably another 8 to 10 times. It really goes through, and I love that it goes through talking about your accountability and your responsibility as the leader, and really over your life, like how to change and grow yourself through your life. And I think it was one that you and I spent, or I thought it was a good, what's the word I'm looking for? We spent a lot of time really trying to whittle down how we wanted to go through the 7 keys that it had in there. And so it made it a really good one, because I felt like we were on the same page. We were in sync, and we had a really good game plan going in, So I think that's why that one performed as well as it did there. So number 4 was Molly. Yeah, no surprise. I mean, such a phenomenal leader, such a phenomenal woman. So fortunate to be able to be friends with Molly. We're me and Dawn are friends with her and her husband Brian, and so we do a lot of stuff together. Dawn works with her at the studio, so we get to connect there. But not only that she's impacted so many people's lives in her 17. Next year will be 18. Her 17 years in business, which is cool whenever you think about it, because most businesses fail. It's like 50% within the first year.
Yeah.
And then it's something crazy like 75% have closed by the end of year 5. So
yeah,
17,
especially starting so young. She had a lot of things working against her.
Yeah, 17 when she started, having to get parents to sign off on stuff and get them to do stuff. And but it goes to show that if you have the right support system, you can make anything possible. So was fortunate enough to play for her dad. And we've known, I mean, her mom was Dawn's dance instructor in high school as well. So a lot of connections there with Molly and her family, and even her brother was on the show at as well. So he's head coach of Live Oak High School, head baseball coach at Live Oak High School. Just a phenomenal family of people. So it doesn't surprise me there that people want to tune in and find out more about like, hey, give me the backstory of this phenomenal leader. What was 3?
3 is Cam.
Yeah.
Cam. Yeah. Cam Acord.
If you're listening and thinking, my team needs this, that's exactly why Coach Clark Leadership and Development exists. We partner with businesses, churches, and organizations that want practical leadership training, not theory, but tools leaders can use immediately. If you're responsible for developing people, let's talk soon. Visit CoachAClark.com. Anytime you throw in that the not for long league, I mean the NFL, the National Football League, probably, yeah, it's the best media producing industry in the world. I don't care what anybody says. Love or hate it, Roger Goodell does a phenomenal job as painting himself as the bad guy and then getting all these phenomenal coaches. And people want to know, like, how do you get into that area? And also, he posted on his social media, I guess it was like 2-3 weeks ago now. Well, when this releases, this will probably be about within the last month for sure. He's now the special teams coordinator for the Green Bay Packers. So
cool.
Went from
going
just
up
being
to Wisconsin.
Yep. So
Cheesehead.
Which is a fantastic area and place. We have raced up there. So like told Levi, he's got his Cheesehead. He's ready. I had to support Coach Cam and the Packers. So I'm hoping to make our way up there at some point. But yeah, that doesn't surprise. I mean, then you said Case was the second one. Again, phenomenal leader. Didn't talk a thing about roofing. We talked about how to build the culture and lead your team in there. And then Coach Becknell. That might have been one of my favorite that I've recorded so far. That's who I played for in high school. That's and I transferred in, so he wasn't my original head coach. So when I transferred into Belle Chase High School, coming in and just, it's one too that I was talking. It's got me talking to a lot of friends and people from high school who, we didn't realize at the time just how great a person we were under during that time. So it's really cool when you look at it and go back. So many people have reached out to me after seeing the episode, even the shorts and reels from it. Just like, I didn't know that about him. That's really cool. Thank you for doing the episode. So yeah, I mean, I think the one common theme too that I can put into why did those episodes produce like they did, they also promoted them as well. So it's one I've noticed is when I get on with people and they don't just depend on me to promote the episode, they promote as well. And they buy in and, hey, Aaron's posting this. I'm going to share it. I'm going to like it. I'm going to make sure that all of my people see it as well. Those tend to perform better. And as they share it, and all 5 of those that shared it, like, I know Cameron's agent that had reached out and said, hey, I need this whenever it comes out because we're going to blow this thing up.
That's cool.
Same thing with, Case promoted it. He loves marketing, so he promoted it.
Mm-hmm.
And St. Molly, her social media team did it as well. They promoted and pushed. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's no surprise to me that these are, and then with the Traveler's Gift, you and I, we always are pushing and promoting. So that doesn't surprise me. The more that they promote, and just, I think Coach Becknell rises to the top because he's impacted tens of thousands of young people, probably closer to 100,000 people. So
right.
It doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. And I'm sure those people who are close to them or maybe just know of them, but like want to know more about them, like this is a great opportunity to learn more about how did they get where they are. And, we asked some great questions in those interviews and really get down to some things that I think entrepreneurs don't talk about a lot. publicly,
Mm-hmm.
But I think
Leaders in
another,
general.
leaders
in general
yeah,
don't talk about
absolutely,
it.
leaders in general. But I think another factor too of why those perform so well is because you have like prior connections with them. Also, they're your friends, or you've known them for years and years, and that lets you be more comfortable and your personality come out even more, and them as well. The viewers like to see personality come out, and jokes thrown, punches thrown, and things like that.
Yeah.
But that's great for the viewers to see, because that's how you are in real life as a coach. That's how they are in real life. It gives, a more personal look at their personality and who they are as a person.
Right. No, and it does make sense. It was kind of like if anybody's watched the roast of Tom Brady, one I always knew just from being in that world is to make it to the top level as a coach, you've got a pretty good personality. You're probably a pretty funny person. But most people didn't realize that Bill Belichick had a sense of humor, because they just saw him as, yeah, we played a game today. Yep, Tom completed some passes for touchdowns. Yeah, it was part of the game plan. Yep. Next question. All right. Yeah, this Super Bowl's in Minnesota. That's what makes it different from the one in Jacksonville. So, yeah, and the episode with Case was the first one that I kind of caught on to that, because me and him were really a lot more dynamic and having fun and cutting up with each other, because that's what we do when we get together and meet and go through and talk about each other's business and how do we help each other improve. So it was kind of
just shows like it doesn't have to be so serious. Yeah. It can be fun. We can be leaders and entrepreneurs and, just work really hard to run our businesses and grow as much as we can, but also have fun doing it. Work hard and have fun. Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Well, that was a good little trip down memory lane for our top 5 performers.
Yes.
You ready for number 4?
Yes. What's 4?
Okay. So, number 4 is, I want to know the 4 coolest guests that you've had on. So maybe like it wasn't the top performing episodes, or, interview didn't maybe go exactly as planned or whatever, but just people who are like, wow, I can't believe I got them on my show. Just the 4 coolest guests.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean,
and we are name dropping. Yeah.
Favorite interview. I mean, so I already said, one of my favorites was Coach Becknell. That he is a former leader, all that stuff. So that one was fun, just to be able to get the backstories. But, and then I would have said Coach Cameron, that because, I mean, we go way back, but so trying not to go off the top performers. One that I think was a cool one that people should still go back and watch is the one with Coach Sid Edwards. That's a phenomenal one. Mayor President, as I like to joke with him now. He's still Coach Sid. He's not any like sophisticated person. He's still just a football coach. Great friend, great mentor. Just a great man, all in all. That was one that, and I joke with him all the time that, if he'd have just got to me before that they had the first official election, he wouldn't have had to go to the runoff, because I'm convinced that I'm the reason that he got the job.
I mean, it's science, Before his interview with you, he was not the mayor, and after, he was. So 1 + 1 is 2.
We want to take a quick moment to shout out today's premier sponsor, Vicky with Hubbard Flooring Studio. Leadership always starts with a strong foundation, and so does your home or office. Vicky and her team don't just cover floors, they help you step into excellence one plank, tile, or carpet at a time. And now, they are offering Hunter Douglas blinds, giving you the ability to set the tone, control the light, and create the perfect environment to lead from. Hubbard Flooring Studio, where strong foundations and bright visions begin. So yeah, if you're looking to run for office or anything like that, you know, I think the next presidential election should be coming up soon. So any of you guys that want to become president, you got to get on the show. Like that's what happens when you get on the show.
Need some local promotion. We're available.
Yes.
So Coach said that. Yeah, I agree. That was a really cool one.
Another one that really stands out to me, and I'm actually surprised this one wasn't higher up or in there, was with Josh Barton. So he is the president and owner of Home of Grace, which is an addiction recovery center, and that's just
episode. I really, really did.
That one probably I had more people reach out to me after that and like, hey, my partner, my spouse, my fill in the blank, they went through this and they went through Home of Grace. Home of Grace was amazing. And being able to know that this helped. And I mean, I even had people reach out to me like, hey, I watched this episode. I've been struggling. I'm now going to Home of Grace to get help because I need help. And it was just such a cool thing for people to see that, hey, this is the guy that's in charge, and this is what his team's like, and this is what it's like being there, and that Josh truly cares about you when you show up. He's just a phenomenal man, and I'm truly grateful to call him a friend.
Yeah.
And the stories he has to tell.
I know. Yeah, they were crazy. But I think you could just like tell through the screen just like how kind he is and how much he cares, like truly, truly cares. And I think that's so important, especially for someone that works in recovery and stuff like that. Because I think a big stigma or like fear for people to go into, you know, treatment or anything like that is the fear of being judged, you know. So, and I don't see that with Josh. He was really great. Actually, he's I would have to say that's right around the time that we started praying more with my family and our daughter, because I don't even know if he talked about it in the episode itself, but he reminded me of the Serenity Prayer, and I know that's, you know, really popular in treatment and recovery is the Serenity Prayer. But yeah, that was exactly what I needed to hear at that moment, like when that episode came out. So that was a great one.
And I loved the sign that they have over the door in their chapel. You know, it says where miracles happens, and he often says, in spite of me.
In spite of me. Yeah.
So that was one of them. Another one that would be a favorite, that is the one that I did with Mike O'Brien.
Yeah. Love Mike.
That founder, CEO, president of Connext. Mike's such a cool guy. And why it was one of my favorites is we actually put that recording off like 2 or 3 different times. One, he was sick, like the first time we were supposed to record it. The second time, I'd had an incident happen at work that I was like, hey, I can't get home to record like at all. Like I'm stuck here dealing with this, and was dealing with that until almost 8 or 9 o'clock that evening. But then when we finally recorded, he called me. He said, dude, I forgot I got to take my kid to soccer practice. I thought my wife was going to be able to do it, but she's not. Like, I'm going to need to postpone. And I went, let's just do it while you're sitting in the parking lot. What else are you going to be doing?
Yeah. That was the best part. He was just chilling in his car with his AirPods.
But and I thought that was good because it showed who Mike is. It shows the life of an entrepreneur. You are Like nothing ever goes right. And when it does, you start looking around like, what bad is about to happen?
Yeah. You definitely have to juggle. You have to multitask. You have to adapt. So I think that shows all of those things, especially, you know, if you have a family. And I mean, that's something that's so common, you know, with entrepreneurs and business people. You know, they want to have that family too. And there's going to be choices that come along with that.
Yes. And I want to get him back on and talk more, because he is on the cutting edge of AI and like actual AI. Most people think AI like ChatGPT or Gemini or something like that. That's LLM, guys. That's large language models. But he's on the cutting edge of like the chat bots that you see on websites, text messages, actually taking and creating phone calls. He's so on the cutting edge, and he's just a down to earth guy. And I'm super glad to be able to call him a friend too. You know, he's a friend, not just, I mean, we were texting the other day that just like, hey, what's going on? How's things going with business? What's the latest? So, I mean, he's a genuine person. Like, that's who you saw is who he is.
Yeah. Very cool guy. One more. And choose wisely.
Choose wisely. So let me get, I'll give the last one, and I could give some honorable mentions, I guess. But so number 4, I'm going to go with the one I did with Vicky Hubbard. So that was a lot of fun. Like, that, if you don't know Vicky's awesome. She's also one of the sponsors of the show, and having her on, she was like, hey, how do I get involved? How do I help make this thing grow? People need what you do. And so when she came on the show, she came on and helped really push that to help grow. And I mean, you guys seriously go visit her. Go visit the showroom floor on Bolin Avenue. It's phenomenal. Her and her staff are great. In business for over 30 years. You don't, if you're in business that long, you're doing something right.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I mean, I guess some other honorable mentions. I'm not going to go into details on them, but the one I did with Patrick Bordelon, David Semino, and Cheryl Totten. You know, those are some fun ones that I did. Bordelon's the jazz band instructor at Central High School. Semino is the head football coach at Central High School, and then Cheryl runs a youth legislature. Mm-hmm. And so since I've done that, like, and went and spoke with their organization at youth legislature, I've had a lot of people come up like, dude, I was a part of that. That was those were some honorable mentions, but definitely, if I had to go top 4 favorite: Sid Edwards, Josh Barton, Mike O'Brien, and Vicky Hubbard.
Yeah. And Vicky's episode was great too. That was actually the number 6 best performing episode. So that was a great interview.
I was surprised that wasn't in the top 5. I was expecting, when you were counting them down, like, Vicky's going to be in the top 5.
We've got some bangers, you know, and there's steep competition. And I remember, because Vicky's interview was actually it was last year, right? It was a long time ago. And she was, and she was very nervous to do the interview and everything, but, it was a great one. I felt like that was one of your first interviews that y'all both got into the groove of it, and it was just like natural and what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, natural and easy.
It just flowed. Yeah,
flowed well. Yeah. So yeah, okay, awesome. So 4 coolest guests, love that. Ready for number 3?
I'm ready.
This is gonna be a hard one.
Oh, geez.
Okay, so number 3 is Aaron's 3 favorite episodes. So it doesn't have to be interviews. It could be your book reviews, and we've done at least 3 of those. So book reviews, Ask the Coach, your own solo episodes, but I want to know what your 3 favorite would be.
Hey, if you've liked what you've seen so far, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow the show. That way we can continue to bring you great guests and great content like you've seen so far. Now back to the episode. Oof. Okay. I was about to say it. I was waiting for you to say, and so why were all 3 of them with me?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm going to leave it, up to you, but just, just reminding you.
And so I'm actually, okay. So I'm going to count this one down. I've got them thought out. So
3, 2, 1.
Number three, I would say, and this would, this one was a fun one. This was a tough one. I totally was not ready for it whenever I did it as much as I planned. Was the one that we did for Lion Chaser on Mr. Roy Jenkins. That was one of my favorite ones that we've done. Man, that's still, and actually now guy that's going to be coming up on a future episode found out actually he knew and worked with Mr. Roy at Church of the King. And so when we were talking about it, I was like, hey, do you know Roy Jenkins? And he was like, yeah, the motorcycle ministry guy. Like, yeah, him and his wife, they're all, and I was like, oh my gosh, like boo-hooing. Again, such, I miss him dearly, but phenomenal man. So that was a fun one. That's definitely one of my favorites, Lion Chaser.
I know that his family really appreciated that episode a lot as well.
Yes.
That was
I would say then the next one, probably it was episode 65, Embracing Change. And so it was the first episode I'd done where I'd switched my producers, which was a difficult decision. I knew I needed to level up and do something to make the podcast better. We were starting to stagnate and things were going down, like we were trending downward, and just not even like, usually with some of this that people don't know is you're going to naturally flatline and then you'll dip, but then you'll come and it's kind of the ebbs and flows. But I was more going down than having any ebbs. So I was flowing more than ebbing.
Yeah. But it was like, it was cool content. So it's like, how do we just get it seen more,
Right. And so that was one of, I would say, my favorites, in that it showed me, hey, that you can't, like, you've got to practice what you preach, basically. And by doing so, it made it better.
Embracing
it
change.
Better. Yes. That's why we called it Embracing Change.
Yeah. And it very much paid off.
Yes.
A new producer has been fantastic. I think that's another thing that, just if you go back and look at like our episodes now versus a year ago, they're completely different. The shorts are different.
Even 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's one that, and I wanted to mention too, because you were talking about Vicky. I mean, that's one of the things that your sponsors really help to facilitate is the production level of the show, and it makes a huge difference. So, I know we've got shout outs for all the sponsors built into the episode, but that's a huge part of, the final product.
Oh yeah. Vicky, Brian, Dr. Bob, Bobby, Andrew. Yeah. It's not possible without them. It's just not.
Yeah. All right. So number one.
Before I go to number one, even, Bobby and Andrew have been a part of it since day one. Like they came in and embraced, like, hey, we love the concept we're in. So just having
Bobby was your first interview, right?
Yeah. So I mean that was a lot. That was huge to be able to get that up front And it's one of those things that, like, I know a lot of podcasts don't get, and actually having people that support you is phenomenal. So, I mean, heck, you guys make this possible. You guys listening right now. The number one, and so I'm going to throw out a couple that were runner up before, like, as I was thinking through the episode 20, the 5 levels of leadership. I love talking about that. Just go watch it. I don't have to explain more. And the first one that we did of Ask the Coach, that was the first one that we got on, we did together. And it was a change in something that we were doing, wanting to try to make the show grow. So I think that was episode 45. But my favorite all-time episode number 1, the pilot.
Numero uno.
Because without that one, the other 83 don't matter. They're not there, because if I don't do number
They're
1,
not there. Yeah.
And with that being 2 years ago today that it was recorded and released, and well, technically like 1 year and like 364 days if we're going to get technical. Because it released on April 15th. I mean, who's counting? Like in 23 hours and 18 minutes. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go that specific, but 2 years ago, I mean, and you just go look where it started off. Gosh. But it truly embraces, like, if you look today versus back then, it embraces how I close every episode. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. And am I saying that I'm great now? No, but I am not bad like that was.
We're trending upwards now.
Yes. So
yeah,
no surprises there for me. That one's my favorite one. It's one that I still send to people when they're like, well, what's it all about? I'm like, look, you got to watch this one. Don't judge me on it, but this is the one that gives who I am, why I'm doing this, and what the whole mission of the podcast is. And I think about that often as I'm putting the shows together, as I'm interviewing people, is, am I still A, focusing on leadership? Am I B, focusing on personal growth and development? And then C, am I connecting people with entrepreneurs and showing that you can do it too? And so I'm always thinking about those 3 things when I'm recording, and making sure that that's why this show is what it is. And it's tempting to sometimes go away from that and become the next sports ESPN show, because I do have a lot of connections in there, but I don't want it to be about, all right, let's talk. When you guys were in third down right here, what were you? I don't want it to be about that, because who cares? It's a football game. It doesn't matter. What's important is what are you doing with developing the young men and women that you're working with? How are you making them better? What do you do? How can we take and apply that to other things? So I really think it's quite a cool thing that we've stayed true to that. We focus on leaders, we focus on personal growth, and we focus on how to share this with other entrepreneurs.
Yeah. It's really cool. It's kind of a time capsule of your mindset, 2 years ago when you were first getting started. And yeah, you can see the contrast and the growth of how far you've come. So yeah, really cool.
All right. So we've had 5,
those were some
4,
great
and 3.
Picks.
What's next?
All right. Moving on to number 2.
I'm ready.
All right. So number 2 is 2 things that you would do differently. If you could restart the podcast from day 1, and do 2 things different, what would they be?
Only 2?
Yeah, just 2. We don't need to be here all day.
So the first one that immediately came to mind is I would start bulk recording a whole lot sooner. Oh man, that's been a game changer. And when I say bulk recording, so what I do, guys, is like, this is the second episode that I've recorded today. I had one right before this at 7 a.m. We started at 9. And so I would bulk record. I would bulk record. And I actually got that one from my friend who was on our episode, or was on my podcast after I'd went on his, Joey DuPont. I think he was episode, he was recent, like 70 something. Might have been like 72 or 73. But he was on. But then I went on his and we did a collaboration on episode 43 with the Tenacious Entrepreneur. And Joey would rent out the studio and they would do like 7 or 8 episodes. He was like, and I do it like every other month. I was like, huh. Because up until that point, so probably up until about episode 50, I was recording twice a week. Just to stay ahead. That way, if I needed to miss a week, I could. And so I was recording Monday night and Tuesday night, and it was hard to get ahead.
Yeah. It's hard to get into that headspace like over and over and over again versus just like one day and you're, in game mode all day.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, like today, so this is my second one, and I've got 7 to do. So I've got 5 more after this.
Yeah.
So it does get a little bit tedious by the time you get to the last one. Like,
but then they're all done.
Yeah. Like when I did the one with Anna Tran. So, I mean, she's out of Japan. So she's just starting off her day. And I'm like, and I've already done like 8 of these puppies. So it was hard, but that was a phenomenal episode too, that just being able to connect and talk about, why public relations is so important for you as a business owner. So that's when I would say started the bulk recording a whole lot sooner because like, this is the first time I've recorded since Christmas. You get to record a bunch of them. The other one I would say is starting to host live recording sooner.
I was thinking that might be one that you mentioned, the lives.
I really have enjoyed those because it gives me a lot more feedback and interaction in real time, to where you guys get to ask your questions and you guys get to comment on what's going on and what's being said. And it kind of was my way to go back into teaching myself or doing things by myself, if that makes sense, to still have the teaching, because I just enjoy teaching and talking about leaders and leadership. I mean, we even just did a cool one, you and I with, that was one of the first ones I did live. I figured that would work, having you come on, and if we mess up together.
That's fine. I don't mess up, but
yeah. And I've got oceanfront property in Missouri I want to sell people as well.
I'll talk to you about that later.
Those 2 things: recording in bulk sooner, and starting the live episode sooner.
Yeah. Why didn't you start the lives sooner? Or I guess like when you did start them, what made you start live recording? I guess that's 2 different questions, but pick your poison.
No, those are good questions. So why didn't I do them at first? I really didn't plan on this being as big as it's been.
Yeah.
Some of it, I didn't think anybody would listen to me. But well, I knew podcasts were getting big, but not many people were doing them, air quotes, live.
Yeah.
And then I had somebody submitted a question, like, talk about the stuff going on with LSU and Lane Kiffin.
Mm-hmm. And Blake Baker. I know that was a big one.
Yeah. And I knew I wanted to, because I actually did 2 on LSU football in them as a leadership thing. So I kind of started that as somebody asking me a question. And I knew it was something I wanted to do. I knew the lives were starting to catch on. And, because let's be real honest, TV and radio are starting to go away. This is the way of the future. Podcast and live streams is where it's at. and it's always better to be in front of the wave than behind the wave.
Yeah.
That riding in front of the wave. I was about to say, ooh, get him, Millie. But yeah, that was why I kind of started it again. And I like having I like doing them now. It's starting to gain a little momentum, a little traction. It's one that I know I'm going to have to move the time based, some of the people that I'm starting to work with are wanting me in different parts of the country, different parts of the state. And so it's going to be, Tuesday, I've been doing them Tuesday at 7 p.m., but Tuesday is about to become a travel day. So I was thinking Thursday, but then I was like, Tuesday and Thursday are becoming travel days for me. So I got to figure out when I'm going to move them. And so I'm really thinking Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how those got started and why people ask. If you're watching and not ready for full organizational training, but you want to grow personally, I'd like to invite you to join our Leadership Multiplier School community. It's a community of positive, growth-minded leaders who are serious about developing influence and helping others do the same. If leadership matters to you, you belong in that room. Let's get back to the show.
Yeah. So if you are watching or listening right now and you haven't tuned into a live, make sure if you subscribe or follow YouTube, TikTok, all of that, whenever Aaron goes live, it'll pop right up and you can hop in. But those are fun because, you've got the chat aspect and you can get that live viewer interaction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, make sure you have your notifications on. That's how you get notified when I go live. And there's always a 5-minute countdown. So when you get it, if you didn't see it until like 10 minutes later, just know you probably didn't miss too much.
Yeah. It's just getting warmed up.
Yep.
All right, cool. Well, we're down to number 1. You ready?
I am ready.
Okay. So I've got number 1 is I want to know Aaron's number 1 biggest lesson, biggest takeaway that you've learned so far from podcasting.
So I would say anything that's worth doing is worth doing poorly until you learn to do it well. So I'm not saying that, if you go back and watch the first one, I'm not this polished. I'm not this good. And I'm sure if you come back and tune in 2 years down the road to watch this episode, you're going to be like, gosh, he was not that good in year 2 compared to year 4. And so that's what I would say is anything that's worth doing is worth doing poorly until you learn to do it well. Because it takes about 10,000 hours to become a pro at something. And my math's not that good on how long that is, but that's about 5 years. So it's going to take time for you to get good at doing whatever it is. If you're wanting to learn a new dance, you're probably going to do it bad at first. A new sport, a new hobby. If I were to try to learn how to crochet right now, I promise you it would not be very good. Like I probably wouldn't get any of the yarn to whatever they do and combine and mix. It would take me probably an hour just to get one little stitch going. But if I stay at it long enough, I know I can be pretty proficient. That's the same thing with you. Whatever you decide. If we were to go back and even watch the first Ask the Coach we did, like, wasn't that great?
Don't remind me.
But
it was cool. And that was the like you said, the beginning of like, you got to start somewhere is a cool concept and just keep working at it. You may need to kind of change strategies along the way. Grow and adapt, but you got to get started and you can't be afraid. I think that's what stops a lot of people from trying new things is the fear of failure.
Yeah. And it's like my publishers told me, that done is better than perfect. Because if you're waiting on perfect, and one, like my next episode, that I'm going to do is with Aaron Parquette, and you'll notice the voice right away because he's the guy that recorded our new intro. So the new theme song, that's him. He's the voice. And we were talking on there and he was like, yeah, I got all these great concepts. I'm like, well, dude, just post the videos. How long have you been working on this? He's like, well, forever. And I was like, post the videos. And he's starting to post again. And they're getting better and better and better. And as we talk, because me and him talk fairly regularly now, we played high school football together and have reconnected within the last 6 months. And that's been great for me is being able to help him, but he helped me too. So there's a lot of give and take in leadership, starting the biggest takeaway, another big takeaway is it's opened a lot of doors for me to be able to connect and communicate with people and to have influence with them, which is what leadership is about. You're creating leadership is creating influence and being able to talk and communicate with people. I would never guessed in my wildest dreams that I'd have had Coach Becknell come on my show or even agree to it. I would have never guessed that I'd have had an NFL coach, that I'd have had a mayor on here, that possibly even another that dropped for all you people who stayed long enough and listened to me yap. Somebody running for U.S. Congress, having those people come on. I'd have never guessed that happened with this because it was literally just like, hey, how do I get on here and talk about leadership and help other people? Which in the process has helped me to stay sharp, which has helped me to continue reading, to continue learning, to continue leading. There's a reason I say that too. Keep leading and keep learning, that because it all goes back to, my favorite book is the Bible. I think it's got the greatest leadership principles in it. And, when yesterday was Easter Sunday, as we were recording this, but, I know this release hasn't released a week after Easter Sunday, but, in it, our pastor was talking about, the Great Commission says, go. So go, go, get started, go do this. It didn't say, what, before you get started on whatever it is that you're doing, let's make sure we have everything together, and I didn't catch this until he said it, in church, was that whenever they show, it was important because in the book of Matthew, chapter 28, starting, I think it was in verse 16, it says, and the 11 gathered, which is not a perfect number. It's not a complete number. There's an odd person out, meaning Jesus said, hey, I know your life isn't together, but let's get started. They got the 12th apostle after that, after they got started. So you might be waiting to get something going because, I don't have the right camera. I don't have the right microphone. I don't have the newest iPhone or a cool green pen to write with, or whatever it is that you're making your excuse on. Get started. I promise you're going to suck until you get going. it's how it is.
And then that's how you learn and get better.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I say it like that. Keep leading, keep learning, and then keep connecting. Right. Those are all very intentional with it. And it didn't start off with that's how I ended the show. It was always, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. But then added in, I was like, it's important for people to know that you keep leading. So you keep doing, go do.
Keep doing it. You'll learn along the way and get better.
Yeah. So, there's just so many different things that I'd never thought would have happened had I not got in and did this. Like, I'd have never thought I'd have been presenting in the state capitol. I would have never thought that I'll be doing a presentation for a very well-known fast food restaurant in the Baton Rouge area. I'd have never thought that have the opportunity to go and do some stuff with some of the biggest leaders in the Baton Rouge area. It's stuff that I'd, never thought that I'd have got to speak at the old state capitol. I'd have never, and I probably wouldn't have got there, presenting at conferences. I'd have never got that had I not started this.
Yeah.
And stunk when I got started.
Well, you're putting in your 10,000 hours. So, and if that's 5 years, then you're 2 years in. So
Yeah.
You're doing good.
And that's what
Just
it
got
is.
a lot. You just got a lot more to go.
Yeah. Just keep going. Just keep doing. And that's what I would say is the biggest thing to take away, because I could go through all 80, now 84 episodes are special. But the number one for me was episode number 1, because that was the first. I was so uncomfortable. Like right now, my kid's playing video games. I can hear the dogs moving around outside of here. Like I had to get everybody. I'm like, guys, I got to record. I had to put on, I had to go put on my headphones that I don't even use now. Like, so I couldn't hear anything. Like I need y'all to be absolute quiet. Like, I don't want to hear a pin drop, because I was that nervous, and now I don't even care. Like they're cutting the grass outside. Don't care. But you don't get there without getting started. So get started. Post that first TikTok video that you've been wanting to post. Do whatever it is. Just don't be scared to do it. Because even having, people on here from like Jerry Prochaska, she puts on 2 national conferences. There's no reason I should have got her on here. But because of what I've done, and then being able to present at her conference, I've even got a conference that I'm going to be presenting in April that stems from the podcasts. So, it's a great, great, great platform. And that's what I've learned. And whatever it is that you do, go do it. Go mess it up. You can learn. It's like one of my favorite books that I've read from John Maxwell. It's called Sometimes You Win and Sometimes You Scratch out the lose, learn. Sometimes you learn. And trust me, learning is not as fun as winning. But it is when you know that that's part of the process, when you understand that success is on the far side of failure. It's on the far side of losing. That if you just wake up and you keep going and going and going and going, eventually you'll find that, hey, I'm here for 2 years. I didn't think I'd be here. And if I just keep going, next thing you know, we'll be recording episode number 100. And then next thing you know, we'll be episode 200. And the next thing you know, we've got like the president of the United States on the show. And then, that's how it goes. But if I was expecting to be Joe Rogan from day one, and if you go watch his first episode, it was awful. I don't know if anybody's ever watched his first episode. It was horrible. But it's not now. But Joe Rogan had, not all of us start off on his level. He was, what Fear Factor. He was on there, plus the UFC. So, he was this big name, and you've got 1 million people watching him. They started a live stream and were like, did we get this right? Hey, did we do? Like, I'm not seeing anything. That's like the first 40 minutes of the episode. It's like, it's showing there's people watching this. Are we supposed to still be on here? And it was awful. But he already had that celebrity status. So if you're expecting to start off like Joe Rogan did, you got a rude awakening.
For sure. I do want to mention quickly too, though. I'm sure that you have a few viewers that have been here from the beginning. We got a lot of new viewers and new subscribers. So, each of them are all equally important. But yeah, thanks for sticking around, especially, this long into the episode. I definitely saved the best for last, as far as what lessons have we learned. That's what this is all about, right? But
And
yeah,
each
we wouldn't
and
be
I
here without
do it.
those viewers.
Right. Yeah. And that's why I do it. Like, you guys that are listening, that are still in, you are why I do this. You are why. I mean, I almost quit right after my grandfather. That's one I didn't even mention. Like, that. I know that was one you were like, I bet this is going to be one of your favorites. And I'm like, no, that was actually one of my least favorites, because I was such an emotional wreck trying to get out my thoughts so I can continue. And then I didn't post another episode for like, good night, like 2 months after that. And then when I kind of started to, I was like, you know what? I quit and I don't want to do this anymore. I don't like this. I suck. All this other stuff. But then I had like 3 or 4 episodes already still recorded. And so I decided to, you know what, I'll post them and then I'll be done. And then I'll quit forever because I'm not just going to hang on to these. I told these people I would post them and people started watching them. And I was like, well, I guess I got to continue, because that was the whole reason I did it, was to help you grow. And so I always think that, like, you're always on top of mind. Like, what do you guys want to hear? And I want your feedback. I want you to tell me. I'm not above learning. I'm not above getting better. I'm not above you. I want to, and that's why the Ask the Coaches live have become one of my favorites, because you guys get on there and submit questions. As I'm going through, like, hold up, you said you would only wear a purple hat. Why would you only wear a purple hat? Well, that's because royalty wears purple. And, if you're not supporting the LS and U, are you really royalty like the rest of us? Like, what are you doing? But you asked me those questions. It's important. Like, you guys are the reason I do this every single time that I do it. And I don't want y'all to think that I take you for granted. Like, you guys make this possible. If you don't listen, like, if you don't watch or listen, I don't have the sponsors. If I don't have the sponsors, I don't have the show. So if I don't have everybody who's a part of this, I'm not here. You guys make it possible. And so definitely make sure that you keep sharing this with people and subscribing. And we do have a lot of great things lined up for you. If this episode added value to you, here are your next steps. If you lead an organization and want to develop strong leaders, connect with us at Coach Clark Leadership and Development. We have a free 30-minute connection discovery call. If you're a growth-minded leader looking for community and accountability, join Leadership Multipliers. Either way, don't just consume leadership, commit to it.
All right, and that wraps up year 2 of the Clark Connection podcast.
Wow, 2 years. That's crazy.
It really is. And I just want to say again that I'm proud of you. You should be proud of yourself. Over 80 episodes, showing up consistently, multiple times a week, building this from the ground up. It's not easy.
I appreciate it, because it's definitely not easy.
Yeah. And we're just getting started.
Absolutely. And guys, remember, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. So keep leading, keep learning, keep connecting, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Clark Connection Podcast.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening to the Clark Connection Podcast. If today's episode added value to you, do me a favor, follow the show and share it with someone who needs it. You can connect with me at my website, coachaclark.com, or on social media at Coach A. Clark. All the links are in the description. Until next time, keep leading, keep growing, and keep connecting.